Tonight, breaking news: a sheriff's deputy shot dead and the urgent manhunt. That deputy, working with U.S. Marshals, shot dead while serving a warrant. The suspect then jumping from a third-floor hotel window. The 150-mile chase, where they've now surrounded him, and we're on the scene tonight. Also breaking at this hour, President Trump's former campaign chairman in court for sentencing. All eyes right now on the judge. What will he do? Paul Manafort facing the longest sentence of anyone charged by Robert Mueller, and we'll go live to our correspondent on that. The verdict is in tonight after a deadly police shooting sparked national outrage. The plainclothes officer who showed up on the scene, a driver on the side of the road, the officer shoots and kills him. The driver's car broke down. He was calling for help. And tonight, what the jury has now decided. The major storm moving east tonight. Whiteout conditions, heavy rain. Rob Marciano on when this hits major travel hubs: New York, Philadelphia, and Boston. The chilling audio tonight, never heard before. In the case of Chris Watts, the father and husband who killed his wife and two girls, the interview with interrogators, what his daughter said to him. Just in tonight, the alarming images, the officer trying to stop this driver, the car reported stolen, taking a dangerous turn. The major headline tonight on gas prices: goodbye to $2 a gallon. And the baseball star who just revealed his very personal battle.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on this Thursday night. And we begin tonight with the breaking news: that urgent manhunt for the suspect who shot and killed a deputy working with U.S. Marshals. That suspect was surrounded, and we've just learned moments ago he's now under arrest. He was taken into custody a short time ago. This all began in Rockford, Illinois. Dozens of officers rushing to the scene, the suspect jumping from that third-floor hotel window, leading police in a high-speed chase, then facing off with police. In the middle of snowy weather, it was difficult to even see. But tonight, authorities moments ago said they have their man, and ABC's Tom Llamas is on the scene for us.
Tonight, a standoff between officers and an armed fugitive accused of shooting a sheriff's deputy.
Be advised, officers are in distress at that location.
It started just after 9 a.m. U.S. Marshals from a fugitive task force arriving at this extended stay hotel in Rockford, Illinois, to serve an arrest warrant.
They were fired upon by the suspect. One of the marshals was hit.
Police say the suspect also shot a woman inside the hotel room, someone he knew. As the victims were raced to the hospital, officers from multiple agencies surrounding the hotel. But the suspect, identified as 39-year-old Floyd Brown, got away, jumping out of a third-floor window, fleeing in his silver Mercury Marquis, rifle in hand.
We're stopped on 152, 115 miles an hour.
After that shooting, the alleged gunman able to get a jump on police, driving more than an hour and a half from Rockford here to Lincoln. The standoff happening just behind us, and it's been going on for hours. Police shutting down a portion of the interstate. Brown barricaded himself in his car.
He has multiple times opened his door as if he was going to come out, but subsequently shut the door and remained barricaded.
And amid the standoff, news the deputy who Brown shot died in the hospital.
So let's get to Tom Llamas with us live from the scene tonight. And Tom, as we said at the top of the broadcast there, the suspect now arrested, in custody tonight?
That's right, David. The takedown happened just moments ago. Behind me, you can see in the distance those flashing lights. And we were so far away because the scene was so dangerous. State troopers launching at least 3 flashbangs, stunning that suspect. That's when the SWAT team moved in. They took him out on a stretcher, David. He is alive, and police say tonight he will be charged with that deputy's murder.
All right,
David?
Tom Llamas, who's been on the scene all afternoon long. Tom, our thanks to you. The other major story developing as we're on the air tonight: President Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort and his sentencing. All eyes on the judge right now and what he'll do. Manafort facing the longest sentence of anyone charged by special counsel Robert Mueller. Just moments ago, Manafort addressing the court asking for, quote, compassion, while prosecutors said Manafort did not provide any information they didn't already know. ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas at the courthouse tonight.
Tonight, the extraordinary fall of President Trump's campaign chairman capped with his sentencing.
Paul Manafort has done an amazing job. He's here someplace. Where's Paul? Paul Manafort.
The veteran political strategist brought to court in a wheelchair today. He faces the most prison time of anyone charged by special counsel Robert Mueller after he was convicted of an elaborate financial scheme, including crimes like bank and tax fraud. Paul Manafort tried to play both sides. After agreeing to cooperate with Mueller's investigators, He then secretly had his lawyers keep up communication with the president's legal team, and he kept online. The special counsel found out, and the cooperation deal, which could have meant a reduced sentence, was off. Manafort was not charged with anything related to possible collusion with the Russians, but Mueller's team recently said that in 2016, Manafort shared campaign polling data with a Russian associate with ties to Russian intelligence. President Trump has kept his distance.
Paul Manafort worked for me for a very short period of time.
Still, the president also painting Manafort as a victim.
He happens to be a very good person, and I think it's very sad what they've done to Paul Manafort.
But will that translate into a presidential pardon? Late last year, the president saying, "It was never discussed, but I wouldn't take it off the table. Why would I take it?"
Pierre Thomas with us live tonight from the courthouse in Alexandria, Virginia. And Pierre, I know there's also news tonight about the president's former fixer, Michael Cohen. Cohen is now suing the Trump Organization for nearly $4 million. He's trying to make the case, claiming they should pay his legal bills, that they agreed to that in the past, something Cohen told Congress last week. Also under scrutiny tonight, this was about whether he had ever asked for a pardon. And remember, here's what Cohen had said.
I have never asked for, nor would I accept, a pardon from President Trump.
So, Pierre, tonight we're learning that Michael Cohen actually did have his lawyer ask about a pardon?
David, it's a growing controversy. Cohen's attorneys say that he explored the possibility of a pardon, but that he never officially asked for one. Republicans are not buying it, and some are saying Cohen made another false statement before Congress and should be prosecuted, David.
All right, Pierre Thomas with us live tonight. Pierre, thank you. We turn next to Palm Beach County, Florida. A former police officer convicted tonight in the shooting death of musician Corey Jones, whose car had broken down. He was calling for roadside assistance when Officer Newman Raja, in plain clothes and driving an unmarked van, showed up on the scene, shot and killed him. Tonight, Corey Jones's family now believes that the recording of that phone call, that roadside assistance call, made all the difference in the case. Here's ABC's Victor Akendo.
Tonight, fired Florida police officer Newman Raja put in handcuffs, convicted for killing 31-year-old Corey Jones.
This was about the truth, and the truth caught up with him.
The night Jones was killed back in 2015, his SUV had broken down on an exit ramp off I-95 in Palm Beach Gardens. He was returning home from a music performance.
This guy's trying to kill me, and I didn't want to die.
Raja was in those clothes working on an unrelated case nearby when he pulled up next to Jones.
The second I said police, he jumped back, and I clearly remember him drawing and pointing a gun at me.
In this video reenactment filmed hours after Jones's death, Raja claimed he identified himself as a cop, opening fire after Jones, who was legally licensed to carry a weapon, pulled out his gun. But Raja was unaware that Jones was on the phone with roadside assistance.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Prosecutors say that tape proved Raja never identified himself to Jones, who may have feared he was being robbed. The all-white jury agreed.
The jury convicting Newman Raja of manslaughter. That roadside assistance call, a crucial piece of evidence. Tonight, Raja's defense team says they may appeal. David?
All right, Victor, thank you. And next here tonight to the relentless winter storms, the new system now headed for the Northeast, New York, Philly, Boston, all in the path. And tonight, the extreme avalanche danger in Colorado. 2 avalanches just today, shutting down a major interstate. We have the track of this system, and here's ABC's Kana Whitworth.
Tonight, that winter storm bringing dangerous avalanches to the Colorado Rockies. Late reports of vehicles trapped on Highway 91. Avalanches today already trapping a tow truck in Vail Pass, rupturing a gas line in Copper Mountain, and shutting down part of I-70.
I've been doing my business for about 30 years, and I've never seen it like this.
Crews deliberately triggering avalanches to try and reduce the risk.
The Colorado Avalanche Information Center says we're seeing historic activity.
Extreme or high danger in 9 of 10 backcountry zones, including Aspen, Vail, and Breckenridge. Authorities fearing more scenes like this one Sunday. A wall of snow crashing down onto vehicles, including the Goldman families.
I don't see how you can see it as anything other than miraculous that we survived that the way we did.
Officials in Colorado declaring historic avalanche conditions and warning people to stay away from prone areas. And here in California, we have so much snow that some ski areas will stay open through July. David?
Wow, all right, Kana, thank you. That avalanche risk growing even worse tonight, as Kana reported, and that major storm now headed east. So let's get right to meteorologist Rob Marciano, tracking it all for us again tonight. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. More snow coming for the Rockies and high winds with that powerful storm. So we have those avalanche warnings remain in effect. Winter storm warnings up for Vail and Aspen. A little light snow for the Ohio River Valley, but the big players coming out of the Rockies, no doubt about that. That's going to be the severe weather player on Saturday for the Mid-South and some of the areas that got hit with tornadoes last weekend. Heavy snow north, heavier rain. Chicago, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia on Sunday, starting out as snow in New England, but then turning to rain. We're warming up at least. David?
Rob Marciano with us tonight. Rob, thank you. Next tonight, singer R. Kelly, just 24 hours after that explosive interview, R. Kelly jumping out of his chair. Tonight, he is facing a new allegation of sexual abuse. He's also behind bars now for owing child support. That explosive interview he gave, he actually said he defended himself against the demand for money, while those two young women who live with him make new claims against their own parents. Here's ABC's Steve Osunsami.
Robert, what do you want people to know? There is more trouble tonight for the self-described Pied Piper of R&B. Investigators in Detroit say they're looking into a new allegation of criminal sexual conduct, this time with a 13-year-old in 2001. R. Kelly's people were hoping to get him out of jail this evening by paying off nearly $162,000 he owes in back child support. But the check is late.
How can I pay child support? How? If my ex-wife is destroying my name and I can't work.
Your ex-wife says you abused her, Robert.
13 lies.
In his interview with CBS News, Kelly went after his ex-wife.
I'm not disrespecting her by saying she's not telling the truth. I'm just being honest. Somebody sent me something on my phone and it said that I hog-tied her. I don't know how to hog-tie people. What would I hog-tie?
Kelly was asked about 21-year-old Azriel Clary and 23-year-old Joycelyn Savage, whose parents say the young women cut them off for a life with the singer.
I love them, and it's like they're my girlfriends. It's like, you know, we have a relationship.
And now we're hearing from the two young women.
Both of our parents are basically out here. They're trying to get money and scam.
In the explosive Lifetime documentary that attracted the law's attention, Clary's parents say they believe the singer first had sex with their daughter when she was 17.
We found some really disturbing text messages between them. They had sex in Florida that first time they met.
Both women say their parents are lying and trying to extort money from their famous boyfriend.
That is a lie. I was not having sex with him at 17.
The families of both young women are responding this evening, saying they never asked R. Kelly for a single penny. David?
Steve Osunsami with us tonight. Thank you, Steve. We turn overseas tonight. We have reported here on President Trump wanting U.S. forces out of Syria. The president does acknowledge now a small military footprint is necessary. And tonight, look at these new images. Hundreds of ISIS fighters leaving the last territory they still hold in Syria. And this evening, a top U.S. commander with a new warning. Here's ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell tonight.
Tonight, hundreds of desperate and defeated ISIS fighters stumbling to surrender. Many of their families now huddled in makeshift camps, dirty and hungry. But many still defiant. And tonight, with the level of US troops in Syria set to drop from 3,000 to 400, a new warning from the head of U.S. Central Command.
What we are seeing now is not the surrender of ISIS as an organization, but a calculated decision to preserve the safety of their families and preservation of their capabilities in going to ground in remote areas and waiting for the right time to resurge.
We've been covering the fight in Syria for years.
You've got local forces backed by the United States taking the battle to ISIS militants.
From a so-called caliphate that once stretched across large swaths of Syria and Iraq, what remains is the small village of Baghouz, just 1 square mile.
US commanders warning there could still be as many as 20,000 ISIS fighters still in Iraq, and that unless the US and others come up with a plan, the seeds of extremism will continue to grow. David?
Ian Pannell tonight. Thank you, Ian. Back here at home into the economy now. Gas prices on the rise. AAA tonight saying the average price for a gallon of gas is now $2.45, a 17-cent jump in just the last month. Analysts expect the cost to keep rising through spring, hitting an average, they say, of about $3 a gallon by the summer. There is still much more ahead on World News.